I'm going to show you how to create the passenger section for your Automoblox car. First thing you're going to want to do is go up here to the application button and go to manage projects. We're going to want to make sure we have a check mark by Automoblox because we're creating a part for that, so we want to make sure we're in the correct project. So just double click that, make sure there's a check mark by it, and go ahead and click done. We're going to create the passenger section first, so go ahead and click standard IPT and create, and it'll take you into a standard part file. We're going to want to create a sketch, and so I'm going to go ahead and click on sketch and check my sketch plane. We're going to start out with a rectangle. Remember, we always want to start from the origin and drag up from that. We can use our Automoblox dimension drawings to get the dimensions for this. This part, I'm going to go ahead and click dimension, and I'm going to dimension this bottom line here. And it says it is 3.17 inches, so I'll type that in and hit enter. I'll dimension the height of it, and the height is 1.53 inches. So that gives us a nice rectangle that's going to create the shape for that Automoblox part. We can go ahead and use the fillet tool to round these edges. These edges have a fillet round of 0.3 inches, so I'll go ahead and type in 0.3, click my lines and apply that fillet to all of the sides. And then I can actually go ahead and finish the sketch. We're going to add our depth dimension with an extrusion. And so I'll go ahead and click extrude. I'm going to have mine extrude the other way, so I'll change the direction. This part is 3.17 inches deep, so I'll type that in, 3.17, and you can start to see that we're creating the shape for that passenger base. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to add the cutout that goes on this surface of the base, and so I'll go ahead and click to create a new sketch. I'll do it on this surface. I'm going to go ahead and choose to create a rectangle again, and I'm going to just use these dots on here to generate the shape. I can use my dimension tool. It should be 2.4 inches. And I can't dimension that, so I'm actually going to go ahead and delete it. Because I drew it to those dots, it won't allow me to do what I want to do. So I'm just going to go ahead and hit delete, and I'm going to do this a different way. I'm just going to draw a rectangle out here in the center, and this will be easier for me to dimension. Now I can dimension from here to the edge, and if you look at your drawings, you can see that it is 0.39 inches from the edge, and it's on all edges. And so I'm just going to apply that dimension, 0.39, to all of the sides here. Then I can go ahead and use the fillet tool again, and this inside it has a fillet of 0.2, so I'll go ahead and type that in, and I'll go ahead and click and make my fillet for each of those. Again, I can finish my sketch then. And we can extrude cut this sketch. So we're going to want to go back into the object, extrude cut, and it goes back into the object 0.57 inches. And so we can go ahead and finish that sketch. The next thing we can do is we can add the top portion to the sketch. There's a cutout in that, so I'll go ahead and click and create a sketch on top of the object. Again, I'll use the rectangle tool to draw the rectangular shape. So your object is a 1/2 inch from here to here. So I'll type that in, 0.5. Same thing on the other side, 0.5. From the front it is 0.82 inches, and so I'll go ahead and click from there, make sure I get the correct line. So I'm going to click that line and my sketch line. That should be 0.82. and the actual box should be 1.59. So that'll create the sketch for that. Again, I can use my fillet tool to go in and around these edges. It has a radius of 0.2. So I'll do that all the way around. Finish the sketch, and I'll actually extrude cut that one again, and it goes down 1.07 inches. Okay, and finish that. You do the same thing to the back side with the correct dimensions, and you'll have this drawing completely taken care of. We'll go ahead and add the last sketch to the back of this. So it's very similar to what we've done before. I'll go ahead and again use my rectangle tool, apply some dimensions to it. This one is 0.34 inches from the side. So I'll type that in. It is 0.27 inches from the top here. So again, I'll type that dimension in. And it's going to be 0.34 from this other side over here too. 0.34. And then the box height is 1 inch. And so from here to here, we should have a dimension of 1. Takes care of that. I can go ahead and radius the edges with the fillet tool, 0.2 inch. Finish the sketch. Extrude cut that back into the object, 0.57. Finish it. And that takes care of our passenger base. And, the first part of it anyway. So I'll go ahead and save that. I'm going to go to Save As. I'm going to go ahead and name this AM for Automoblox. I'm going to call this Passenger Section, and then my initials. Forgot to do one thing to the car. We need to add the little groove that goes along the side. So I'm going to add a new sketch to the front of this. And I'm going to again use my rectangle tool. And I'm going to try to get it right on the outside edge there. Click and drag a little box like that. I'll apply some dimensions to it. So from the top to the top of the box, it should be 0.3 inches. And so I'll type that in. The box should be 0.06 inches high, and so I can add those dimensions in. The box should be 0.06 inches high, so I can go ahead and add those dimensions in. And it should be 0.06 deep. And so that's the box that should be extruded all the way across. So I'll go ahead and finish that. And I can extrude cut that. Click it, go the other way, and under distance say all. Go clear through the object, click OK. Do the same thing to the other side. Apply my dimensions, 0.3, 0.06, 0.06. Finish the sketch, zoom in, select it, extrude cut, tell it to go through all. And that takes care of the rest of the car, the passenger section.